So welcome to today's exploration. We are looking closely at Meditation 243, which is titled The Power of Faith.
Right, from the Divine Intimacy Collected.
Exactly. And our mission today is to help you understand how unwavering faith really serves as the indispensable condition for God's omnipotent action in your life.
Yeah, because it's not just a passive agreement,
Yeah.
it's an active requirement.
I mean, I like to think of it as a key. A lot of times faith is framed as just checking a mental box, but this source material shows it as the actual active key you need to unlock the door for divine grace.
That is a really helpful analogy because if you look at the scriptural foundation, Jesus consistently required an act of faith before performing miracles.
He always asked for it first.
Right.
Hmm.
In Mark chapter 9, verse 22, it says, "All things are possible to him that believeth."
Wow.
So God possesses this absolute omnipotence, but he deliberately chooses to deploy it for those who firmly trust him.
Even if it's just a tiny amount of trust, right?
Yes. The text reminds us that just a mustard seed of living, resolute faith is enough to literally move mountains.
Okay, but if faith is the key, how should you view insurmountable difficulties? I mean, like severe spiritual anguish or just the overwhelming daily duties you face?
Well, the text makes this fascinating point that despair really only arises when you reflect on your own powerlessness.
Right, when you're just staring at your own inability to fix things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But God deliberately permits these impossible situations to cultivate heroic faith in you.
Wait, really? So he allows the impossibility on purpose?
He does. And the practical application here is that you actually have to use your very impotence and even your past failures as a sort of springboard.
A springboard to just plunge entirely into God's power.
Right, instead of shrinking back. I mean, think of the Canaanite woman in Scripture.
Oh, yeah, she's a perfect example.
She faced total human impossibility and initial silence from Christ. But her persistent faith, completely ignoring her own limitations, basically forced a miraculous response.
So flowing from that practice of radical reliance, we really should look at the Carmelite perspective on enduring these kinds of storms.
Yes, because they dedicate their entire lives to studying this. St. Mary Magdalene de Pazzi had this incredible realization about it.
What does she say?
She realized that because God's love is so immense and active, not believing in him actually requires more effort than believing.
That is a huge paradigm shift. So doubt is actually more exhausting than trust.
Exactly. And then you have Blessed Marie-Thérèse Soubiran, who had a really profound practice for this.
I remember reading about her approach to life's storms.
Yeah, she would deliberately hide in God with faith to withstand the violence of those storms. She didn't fight the weather herself.
She just completely trusted in his omnipotence to bring resurrection.
Right, no matter how destructive or final the current moment felt.
So to synthesize all of this for you listening, giving that determined, unconditional yes actually transforms your personal weakness into the very arena for divine action.
It really does. And I think a beautiful way to wrap this up is with a brief contemplative reflection, inviting you to personal prayer.
Using the words of Scripture, right?
Yes. Simply praying, "I do believe, Lord. Help my unbelief, increase my faith."
That is perfectly said. So here's a final provocative thought for you to mull over. If your current seemingly impossible obstacle is actually a deliberate invitation from God to witness a miracle, how does that change the way you step into tomorrow?